Okay, first off, I'm not in support because number one, is an officer of the custom service, and for you to be an officer, you have to wear a uniform. It's just like your navy, your army, your air force. An officer, a very top ranked officer in the army, is going to the office and you're not wearing your uniform. I think it's wrong. So, as his duty, as one of his duties as the Comptroller-General, it should be an idol. It should be like an icon of the agency. So you should represent wherever you go to. People should know you as the Comptroller-General of the Customs Service. So I think he has to wear his uniform, whether told or not to. It really shouldn't be about working. It's just your form of identity. People should always identify you as a customs officer. You know, if you don't wear your uniform, how can somebody recognize you, or even a fellow officer who is uniformed and should see you're not wearing your uniform? I think it's a kind of indiscipline, in my own view. It's a kind of indiscipline. You should wear your uniform.
We invite the Comptroller-General of Customs to appear in plenary with his uniform.
Yes, he should appear in the uniform. That is his official uniform. And he is being invited on official purpose, not personal purpose. So let him go there with his uniform. It's not his disgrace. It's not an embarrassment. So the people don't say whether they're embarrassing or not. So it is uniform, official day of official clothes. So let him go there with official clothes. So no any embarrassment anywhere.
You and I were both aware that the custom is a paramilitary organization. Am I right? So, and the custom, they have uniform, they wear. So the Comptroller-General, as the head of that government agency, is supposed to live by example. What I mean by leading by example is, at every point in time, just like the head of state, a military head of state or a general who put on his uniform, the Comptroller-General should always put on his uniform and not Babariga or Adagba. If he's not ready to put on his uniform, then he should resign. He's not fit to be on that position. It's as simple as ABC.
I was not appointed Comptroller-General to wear uniform.
Some of us, we went to the university, and after the university exercise, you go for your youth service, and it is obligatory that as a youth corper, you wear the ajumaya. That is what we're wearing. So if you are a custom officer or a Comptroller-General of the custom, every organization has their rules and regulations. If you're a custom officer, you should put on your custom uniform. So leave the issue of whether the uniform is going to do the job or not. The military men will have said, okay, we don't need to even wear a uniform, we can still go after our criminals. So it is a basic requirement. It is the Comptroller-General of the custom, of course. You should put on the uniform.
I'm in support, but with reasons. The reason number one is I heard that the man is a retired serving, maybe custom officer, I don't know, or army. But I'm asking myself, why would they make somebody that has been retired to become a Comptroller-General of Custom? Because somebody that is retired, are they now telling us there's nobody in custom that can handle that position, that can take up that responsibility and make it a better place for the custom and the citizen? So because I keep wondering, why would they make somebody that is retired? Sometimes I wonder about that. If you look at some other sectors, they make somebody that has been retired. When he was there, that is still serving, what did he do? What was his results? What was his achievements? We don't know, and I keep wondering. So if they ask him to appear, he should just take it as something that I'm doing for my country, because for him to accept that he wants to be a Comptroller-General, he has to also take up the responsibility.
No, I'm not in support, because he must subject to the Constitution. That even the president himself is subject to the Constitution, so he must also subject himself to the Constitution, because the National Assembly is the highest law-making body in the land. So if the National Assembly summon him, he must go. He must go. He must obey the Constitution. These are some of the things we are talking about, that there's anarchy in the land. It's very funny. So you cannot differentiate, because you cannot differentiate that. I don't know what he meant by that.
Really, lawbreakers are lawbreakers. Nigeria is a lawless country. We see with money you can break the law. He himself knows that best of the seven that flies together. If he can succeed with it, fine. Not that I'm in support. Nobody's above the law. But this country, Nigeria, is different. Do you understand? Until something drastic happens to our leaders, who just think they can do something and go free. If he says it's not appearing, there is a president of a country. There are justice, there are judiciaries, there are lawmakers, there is police force, there is army, there are forces that he use to persecute such cases. But if he thinks he can go away free, fine. Because this country, you know, the bad man is the hero, while the good man is the fool. So that is something about this country. But I'm not in support anyway. He must appear before the judiciary with his uniform.
This is not the first time that the National Assembly will be trying to, show their powers. But I will say that it's not in the Nigerian Constitution to say that he should wear his uniform before he appears before them. He has his own fundamental rights. So I don't think it's the right thing to do. The most important thing is to call him, let him come on and mention and talk about this controversial, car policy that he's implementing. Because you can't buy a car and you pay double duties on the car that you bought. It's unfair for Nigerians. So I think the most important thing is to find a common ground, that will be beneficial to all Nigerians, so that we can use our road and use it efficiently.
No. It's not a good idea, because it's just like you asking the copper to come to parade ground without his uniform on. So to me, it's not a polite thing. It's not a good idea of the thing. So though I won't really blame the man, because due to the situation in our country now, in Nigeria, paddy things, paddy things went. So I won't really blame the man. I'll be blaming the government himself.
Yeah, the problem with the executive is that they tend to have so much enormous power that they forgot that the other organs of the government are also vital and they should listen to them. For real, he was supposed to appear with uniform, because that's what makes him an employee of the federal government. The custom is a federal government agency, so he's employed to work there. So he should come with a uniform. He should appear with a uniform. Then let all the policemen remove all their uniform and let everybody walk on the street. You let all the policemen, let all the organs of government that that are wearing uniform, let them all remove their uniform. Then let everybody walk on the street, and then you can always appear and say you are this. Let me see if there will be no chaos. There will be chaos everywhere, because the wearing of the uniform will bring sanity. It will make people identify that this is where you are. Why should a big man feel so big to wear a uniform of where you are working? No, that's what makes you an employee of that place.
With immediate effect, the Senate should recommend him for sack. For the fact that they order him to appear and they refuse, with immediate effect, they should recommend him for sack. He should leave that post.
So he actually said the uniform is not the one working, but the person behind it. What do you have to say to that?
That one is true. Is the person behind him is the one who gave him all this authority not to report. Yes, the Senate should recommend him to the president for sack and replace him with another person. There is no other punishment than they have to sack him with ignominious.